Moving on. I guess we'll do the backlog.
Backlog, 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 backlog.
And now I'm dancing to music. Hey guys, welcome to the backlog.
Backlog is a segment of the Wulff Den podcast where we go through our entire video game collection and pick a game at random and talk about it regardless of whether or not we've played it. It is a collection of 981 games, folks, spanning over 40 years of video game history.
38.
38.
I'm not used to it being that low.
It is a Game Boy game.
Okay, I'm going to say right now, definitely haven't played it.
Wario Land Super Mario Land 3.
I need to see. Oh, Game Boy Color.
Game Boy.
Game Boy?
Game Boy.
Wario Land Super Mario Land 3. I definitely played this for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, Wario Land Super Mario Land 3 is a 1994 platform game developed and published by Nintendo for the Game Boy. It is the first installment of the Wario series and a sequel to 1992's Super Mario Land 2: The Six Golden Coins.
This is a late Game Boy game, right?
1994.
Really? That's not that late.
That's like mid.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Game Boy game.
Yeah, it's a good-looking Game Boy game.
It's got it's got some pretty decent color.
Yeah.
But it's not a Game Boy Color game.
No. It is an original Game Boy game. This is they stopped making the Mario Land series and they transitioned it over to Wario Land, which is a very different style of gameplay.
Yes.
Instead of like it being a traditional platformer, it's more of like how would you describe it? Like you're Wario and like you're bulldozing through.
Yeah, you
everything?
bulldoze through things. You have a button that makes you do like a fast like run and you like slam into stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he just got a heart. I don't know if there's health in the game.
I don't think
like,
there is.
I think that you are invincible.
Yeah, if my memory serves correctly, like you're not vulnerable in the traditional video game sense. Like there's an end state like to the gameplay, but you don't like die.
And there is a
so
timer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to make it to the end of the level.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this game has the same thing as other Wario Land games where you make it to the end of the level and then then the timer is shorter and you have to run all the way back to the beginning of the level.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has the same mechanic.
Wario is able to jump on or bump into enemies to knock them over. Enemies thus stunned can be picked up and thrown at other enemies. When in his grown form, Wario is able to perform a shoulder charge, which is used to attack enemies, break through blocks, and open hidden treasure chests.
I haven't played this game much outside of the first level. This is a game that I would play just to mess around with Game Boy emulation and Game Boy Color emulation, or some of the Game Boys I've modded, or like the Analog Pocket, or the mod Retrochromatic, or some of the newer Game Boy FPGA consoles.
Yeah.
I haven't played a significant amount of this game. I played a lot more of Wario Land 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Mostly 4. I played a decent amount of 4.
Okay.
3 is one of the most beautiful Game Boy Color games.
Right.
Not this one. I mean, this one's good. This one is they're all very pretty. This one is very pretty for an original Game Boy.
For a 1994 Game Boy game.
Yeah. They did a really good job.
I'd imagine like they're not too dissimilar from this. Like they probably added more features and like more power-ups and stuff, but like the basic fundamentals are the same. The big thing is like they build it as Super Mario Land 3, but it's like a wild radical departure from like a traditional Mario game. Like you can see on screen right now, this is nothing like a Mario game.
No. But people are saying in the chat in the first one, you can die like in normal Mario Brothers. If you get hit, you get smaller.
Okay.
And then if you get hit again, you straight up die.
Okay.
But I don't think the later Wario Land games are like that.
Correct.
I think you are mostly invulnerable.
Yeah.
And what taught me the most about Wario Land, honestly, has been Pizza Tower and Atomic Blast.
Right.
Anton Blast.
Games like inspired by it.
Yeah. And then I went back and played Wario Land, and I was like, I like those other games better. Definitely look up the end of this game. It is wild that Mario still succeeds even though you beat. Okay.
Spoilers.
All right. Well, there you go. You don't have to play Wario Land. It's
yeah.
For you. Is this on Nintendo Switch Online?
It
might be.
It was on Virtual Console. I don't think it is on Switch Online.
Are you serious? They really got to step up the Game Boy library.
Seriously.
That's pretty sad. Nintendo Switch Online games.
It was originally released in January 21st, 1994. It was later available on the Nintendo.
Oh, Wario Land 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Not the first one. So wait, there's a Wario. Where's Wario Land 2 in all of this?
That's a good question. Wario Land 2 was on the Game Boy Color. Came out in 1998. Wario Land 3 was in 2000 on the Game Boy Color. Wario Land 4 is on the Game Boy Advance. Came out in 2001. So maybe they're working their way backwards.
I've never seen Wario Land 2. Now that I think about it.
I've seen the cover.
This is not a game that we have.
No.
Okay. So, if you've never played Wario Land, I'm going to say, wait for it to come to Switch Online.
Yeah.
I think that 3 and 4 might be the good ones. I haven't played 2.
I'd imagine, again, they're all probably follow the same template.
They're all probably pretty good.
Yeah, they're all probably pretty good. This one's probably just the most basic out of them all because it's like the first one. They didn't really know what they were doing.
Yeah.
For a first attempt, it seems like a good first attempt. Just, again, even though it's called Super Mario Land, it's got nothing to do with that. It's a completely different beast altogether.
Yeah, they liked doing that.
Yeah.
They did it with freaking Yoshi's Island.
Mm-hmm.
They did it all through the Game Boy Advance life. They had Mario Advanced.
But it was just a port.
It was a port of a different game.
Yeah.
Mario Advance 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it was a port of a different game with a different number on it. So they'd like to do confusing shit like that. So yeah, see if it comes to Switch Online. I'm sure it will any minute now.
Yeah.
So anyway, check it out.
Yeah. Or don't. It's
Or
your
don't.
choice. It's your life.
Thanks for watching the backlog, everybody. You should come to a podcast though. Goodbye.
Bye.